won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? We're back. We're ready to attack here at Pregaming on Sports Money. Happy Friday, TGIFF. We have gotten here. We are on to the weekend. I hope you guys are feeling fired up. Week 18 in the NFL is upon us. We still got some bowl games here this evening and a full slate of games all weekend long. Rumor is Sports Money's going live for one of these UFC, one of these NFL battles tomorrow. Let's take a peek at the schedule and see who's playing. Because I know you guys like being live. I like being live with you guys. We got the Panthers and the Bucks. 4:30 p.m. start. Or the Seahawks and the 49ers with the 8 p.m. start. And of course, we'll be live on Sunday night to close off the NFL regular season. The Ravens and the Steelers will be popping off, ready to pop these bookies' tops. But I think I'm actually coming down with a little bit of the sniffles here. A little cold. I woke up a little under the weather this morning. But I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are as well. Just cashed this first half with this Navy side. Last minute, sharp, respected betting came through with like 5 minutes before kickoff. Gave it out there to the Win Club, and we got that cash. Now, over's looking tough in this game. Not going to lie. Not going to lie to anybody. But it's raining cats and dogs out there, and it does not look like it is conducive to the over. Kind of sucks. Figured, well, you know what? Here's the difference. Albeit that last touchdown was incredible, wasn't it? Did you see that drive with, 42 seconds, 35 seconds to go? He throws it into the first one was wide open mystic. I just wasn't quick enough. And they almost went right back to the same play. Boom, touchdown, no time left. Get that first half cash. And I do believe the ground attack for this Navy squad will be the difference. This is where we see these teams in the trenches, all these opt-outs, backup quarterbacks on the Cincinnati side of things, shit weather. This is where we see the advantage to the offense. They know what the plays are. The defense has to read and react. And so you got a bunch of second stringers trying to read and react. You got an offense that's in control of the game, should physically wear these guys down on this Navy side against Cincinnati. Got to ask yourself, minus 10.5, is that where you want to get in live? Now, full disclosure, the total was 57.5. As soon as I saw that rain and I saw back-to-back 3 and outs, basically, I said, you know what? Maybe I look at this under. But it went down 10 points. So it went down to 48.5. It's now sitting at 45.5, 14-7. The football gods upon us. Maybe the weather will subside for this second half. But it doesn't look likely. It does not look like that's how we're going to go get it done. So, get it done. I wouldn't call it getting it done last night. We literally middled last night. Half a unit up, a half a unit down. And it is what it is. But, here's the thing. I told you guys about that huge Toronto trend, and I can't emphasize enough to the degree that you're comfortable with your bankroll. But Winnipeg goes up early on that Toronto Maple Leaf side. I told you that trend with, I think it was 14 straight and 21 straight on that Toronto side of things. I can't make you do it. I can only tell you at a plus 550 live, because they're down 2 goals in the first period, seemed ludicrous. So I took it. Now at plus 550, the question is, how do you play it? Well, if you're $100 better, my suggestion would be put down like $17 to win 100. That way you're still getting a unit, but you're not crushing yourself if they don't come through. And so 1 unit win could have turned into 2 unit wins with just a little bit more than 1 unit wager. If you follow what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, it would have been 1.18 units to win 2 units in that situation. So you got to take that with consideration. The Chicago Blackhawks came through in that bounce back revenge spot for Dallas. Not so fast. And we cashed a plus 155 spot with the Chicago Blackhawks. The Nashville Predators got busted up by Seattle, and that's why we will be playing on the Vancouver Canucks tonight. Seattle are one of the worst teams in the league on the second leg of a back-to-back. We'll talk about that when time comes. College hoops, Tarleton lost by the hook. 91-85. Ugly. And the NBA. Well, listen, we got the under 159.5 in that Murray and UIC. The Illinois-Chicago spot cashed the under for us here. Sacramento Kings plus 9.5. They lost by 11. If you played the Celtics anyway but full game, you lost. Maybe multiple times. They didn't win the second quarter. They didn't win the first quarter. They didn't win the third quarter, fourth quarter. Comeback. And, was able to get some minus 11.5s, but that sucked. We lost. And the over 230 on that Clippers, Utah Jazz side of things there. The Clippers did their part. They put up 118. The Jazz just had no answers. And that thing went under by 11. So very disappointed to kind of battle it out. Now, the fun part was that Ole Miss game. How can you not love that kind of a football spirit? Man, that game was just intense. It was great. It was so much fun. You watched, I don't know, I was watching that feed that had the stats up on the screen, all the players' performance stats and things like that. The Georgia running back goes down out there in that fourth quarter. That was a big tilt and a great live opportunity because that was the guy. He had 18 carries. Now he only had like 54 yards in that spot, but 18 carries, man, that put that team into a one-dimensional mode. And it's funny. I was thinking about this. I had this epiphany and I was thinking, people are talking about Kirby Smart. I mean, he's going for it on fourth down in his own territory and shit like that. And they're like, oh man, this guy, what a risk taker. And it's like, and he's so good and he's so experienced and he knows when to make those calls. He's been in so many of those games that the nerves and the tension of deciding whether or not to go for it is gone. He knows he'll be back there again next year, at least in the quarterfinals, college football quarters. So what the fuck? Why not go for it? Bury these boys and put them out of their misery. Now, analytics bettors don't believe in that. If you're looking at the sports analytics, they'll tell you, you know what, you should have probably punted on that fourth down in your own territory because that was kind of a backbreaker. Right shortly after that, Ole Miss responds with a touchdown and goes up 10 points. Now, Georgia comes back and scores a touchdown of their own. That game was just a lot of fun. I think that was the best college bowl game so far. You guys tell me what you think, but as far as the college football playoffs are concerned, and what a great story for Ole Miss. I told you, I think them boys have been galvanized. Now, I got to look at the college football playoffs. Let's take a look at the playoff scenarios here because I think I've got a prediction for us here. Let's look at this bracket. I hate when guys repeat shit twice. I mean, Ole Miss and Miami, Oregon and Indiana. Ironic that Big Ten teams are going to battle it out, but the SEC, ACC, I wouldn't be surprised to watch Miami thump Ole Miss, get themselves in the national championship. Them boys got some vigor going on right now. Piss and vinegar flowing through their veins. Question is, can Oregon hang on to Indiana? And I'm going to say I think they can. Now, Indiana looked like a pretty fucking complete team against Alabama. I mean, 38-3. Alabama came in there as the 9 seed, though. So Oregon shuts out Texas Tech. I think the defense, I think the quick playing ability of the offense, you want to get in a gunfight, 51-34 against James Madison. You want to get into a defensive battle, 23-0 against Texas Tech. Don't fall for the fact that Indiana is the more complete team, I think, in this case. So the other thing I'm kind of getting tired of hearing, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. This isn't a bitch session. We're going to get to the plays in a second, but how many times are people going to cop out and say week 18 is a fucking snake? It's battle. You got to be careful. Of course, dummies. It's week 18. They just because they need it doesn't mean they get it. Of course not. You still have to do your due diligence and it's a cop out to say it's week 18. We're not going to go big. I mean, we're not going to go huge. We're going to play it just like we play anything else. But it's like the people that say the Super Bowl is just another game. No, it's not. roll your fucking sleeves up. It's the last time you're going to have football until September. Take some player props, take some sides, use the tools like the, player incentive portals and those types of things to figure out how to go out there and crack the bookies over the fucking skull. And that's what we're going to do this weekend. So expect plenty of football action from us. We'll go live. The Shark and Mikey Money NFL, the betting blitz, giving you guys that breakdown for all that Sunday act. And shout out to Mr. Weskers. Give the $5 dono to kick us off here tonight, you guys. Appreciate Mr. Weskers. What a nice gentleman with the compliment that he put out there on the chat or the post chat last night there. Appreciate you, man. That kind of made my night. Enjoyed hearing you breaking down this landscape of sports shows to watch and that you come in here and like being a part of this community. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. All right. Now let's go on that note. Mr. Weskers is blessing our action. And I'm glad he found our community. I'm excited that all you guys are here doing this thing with us as we roll into 2026. And let's see if we can't get these pickup sticks. We're going to be saying that a lot. What is that from? The Waterboy, 1966, pickup sticks. Anyhow, get your guys' plays in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Weskers for the $5 dono. And listen, you guys want to support the channel, there's a lot of ways to do it. Like Mr. Weskers is leading by example. Nicholas Handy gifting a Sports Money membership. Appreciate all you guys helping us build this thing. You don't want to get financially behind it. Hey, just hit the thumbs up button. Shows that you like what we're doing. It helps us continue to build the brand, get YouTube knowing that we're out there doing this thing. You know, people have talked about what this algorithm means, and that word is so overplayed. But bottom line, they're doing demographics. They're stereotyping us. They find a bunch of people that like betting on sports. And when you like it, that means that they promote us across YouTube to new faces, new strategies, bring new ideas. And it just helps us all develop our chops as cappers and win more money. That's what we're here to do. So at the very least, think about hitting that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. And then we'll get to work. I'll tell you what, on behalf of Mr. Weskers and Nicholas Handy, we will definitely do a live show tomorrow. I promise you guys that. We love being live with you guys. We love being, I sit on my couch watching that old Miss game and bet fucking live lines all night long. You guys know the deal, but I like to share them with you guys because, man, when they cash, we go big. Oregon, Indiana. Indiana's going to open up as a -4 January 9th at 7:30 p.m. Indiana defeated Oregon 30-20. We get a rematch. This is an Oregon slam spot. I don't know about slam. Don't let me use those terms. But Oregon with the spread and Oregon on the money line. Oregon beats Indiana. I'm official. I'm official with it now. January 9th. I don't even care. What is that? Next week? That's going to be so much fun. We're going to have to go live for those games too. I don't know, you guys. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Let's see who's checking in. Let's get your plays in the chat. I'll shout you guys out. Then we will get to work. Yes, my prime rib and lobster tail were fantastic last night. Tonight, I'm going to go a little Italian route. So I'm going to get up out of here, get ready to watch these late games here, 8 p.m. with these bowl games, Arizona and SMU. And then, of course, the game we're going to cover in Wake Forest and Mississippi State. We're going to talk Wild and Ducks. This is a fun card. I'm excited to share this one with you guys. I got same game parlays. I got 2-leg parlays. You're looking for some fun. You're looking for some big scores. I got you guys covered tonight. The Wild and the Ducks, that's a 2-leg parlay. I got the Kraken and the Canucks. I already gave you the spoiler alert. We're going to fade the Kraken off the second leg of a back-to-back with no rest. That's been one of the most profitable spots in the NHL. And the most profitable team, the Seattle Kraken, in that fade situation. We'll go into college hoops. I got Liberty and Kennesaw. I got a parlay for you in that game. Siena and Iona, Bobby Moe and Detroit. I know I said I'm not going to go to the Horizon League again, but goddamn. Then we're going to go Michigan State and Nebraska. That's a ranked battle right there in the Big Ten. Lots of things to play for. Big bounce back opportunity. I got a huge trend for you guys in that one. I think there's a 20-0 and a 21-1 trend in that Michigan State Nebraska game. We'll move into the NBA. I've got a 4-leg same game parlay in the NBA. Why? Well, why not? Also, I thought there was a player that we can pick on that the books haven't quite caught up to. And there's some same game parlay incentives on Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel. I don't think I looked at Fanatics, but They all got same game parlay bonuses out there tonight. So I got a 4-legger for you in that game that's going to pay out around 11-1. We'll go Nuggets and Cavs. We'll go OKC and Warriors, and we'll wrap it up with this college football 8 p.m. bowl game. Is the wrong team favored? So let's get it. Let's see who's here. Check it in. Get your plays out there. Blake M. kicks us off. Says, good evening, everyone. Let's get to the money. There's Phil the Gill. Says he's getting wet just watching this Liberty game. Dude. I missed like the very first drive. And then it was 10 points down on the total. And I was like, fuck. Like, the very least I could have tried to, I wanted to say middle myself out, but I'm hoping that they separate in the second half. There's Nicholas Handy. AJ's here. Says, evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day so far. There's Plant-Based. Says TGIF. And Mr. Wesker says the Lakers. Hey, my name is Green. Thanks for the membership, he says out there. Welcome to the community, my friend. Appreciate you being here. He says, Mike recovered that Alabama bet with those Ole Miss. Man, that game was just a ton of fun. That was worth the price of admission. It was late. It was a stay up later, but it was so much fun to watch that game. Matt Damon Football Club says, good evening. Shout out to you, Matt Damon Football Club. AJ says, got that first half. That drive was nice. He loves it. Let's go out there. Phil the Kill says, how much Lane Kiffin make last night? What a scumbag. The best is Lane Kiffin telling his coaches, if you don't get on the plane with me now, don't bother getting on the plane later. Bobby Matt says, good evening. Been cashing good so far today, and I'm ready to keep it going. Cheers, everybody. Nicholas Handy says, gifted you a membership on the morning steam. Shout out to my guy, Nicholas Handy. Greg, Mr. Whiskers got there. Stop Geo says, cheers, mofos, and good luck tonight. Sidney figured it out. Yes, sir. I had Ole Miss and Heat plus the points in a parlay, and I'm going under in the Nuggets and Pelicans in a parlay as well. Just checking in on your thoughts. I remember that last night, dude. Congrats on the casher. We gave it out pregame. That's all we can ask. That's what we're here for, is pre-gaming, baby. Good job. Congratulations. Nuggets and Pelicans. I like the Nuggets. We'll talk about that game here in just a little bit. Hopefully I can illuminate that for you. I don't really have anything on the Pelicans. Who asked me about a play the other day? And I was like, I'll look at it for you. I couldn't have been any more fucking wrong. Man. Stop Theo says, Mikey with the new camera, pimp slap in 4K, FTW. I just got a new setup, man. I got the office, new setup in the office here. I got the, man, it's looking good. I got to get the accoutrements in the right place, if you will, but we're getting there. We're getting there, man. Best part is the non-shaky desk. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but stability is key so that I'm not bouncing around like a fucking bobblehead. There ain't no bobbleheads up in here. JW says, evening. Nicholas Haney says, Miami could beat Indiana. I think, yeah. Jerry Davis says, Byron Morton is a cowardly choke artist. You could see he was scared to death. Phil the Kill says he could be a head model with that beautiful shaped dome. It's round. Nicholas Haney says, they are the only threat I see. Blake M says, I'll take Navy now live -10.5. I'm not mad at that. Jay Peasy in the house says he parlayed the Florida Panthers and the under. Mr. Wesker says quality over quantity. And JW says live show. Fuck yeah. Nasty motherfucking Nate says, how about them Celtics smashing? Well, Nasty Nate, I don't know if you were here for the very intro of the show, but there's no way you could have made money on that game. They won, but there was no money to be made on that game, sadly. But I went full game. Second quarter, I messaged you last night. You know what happened in that game. AOD says, Mikey, he's our brother. Nicholas Handy says, Oregon quarterback is suspect. FB Gotti says, Oregon not winning, bro. Well, I'll tell you what I'm playing. JW says 1 point, a smash. Top 10. I'm not sure. It was 4 points, I thought. It's not 4 points. I just saw ESPN. Are we talking about the same game? That Oregon game? I see 4. Indiana for me and the under, says Jerry Davis. Epigati says they struggled against Tech. Had Tech not have a lawn chair, useless bum quarterback, would have been closer. Epigati says over. Shout out to J-Dub, shouting out AOD. 24-17 type of game. Both defenses are top tier. That's a great call for a final score. It's a great call. Robert McCormick likes the SMU money line. And I believe FB Gotti's talking about the SMU Mustangs in college football, but I'll let him respond. AJ says second half over 23.5 in the Navy game. Fuck. You're going to need that. You're going to need a lot more of that. Jerry Davis says Arizona for me. Station plate 2211. He's out here checking in with us as well. Blake M says Lane Kiffin has a job reputation for sure. Mr. Whiskers likes the Blazers. Robert McCormick says, Jerry, good luck. Should be a good game. Stop Gio says FanDuel. NBA happy hour 6 to 7:30. 30% profit boost. Let's get to work so we can get these cash action in our pockets and get this first game popping off here. It's a very small NHL slate. You guys know there is the what do they call it? The NHL outdoor game. I don't know. A lot of bums out there today. Shit. It's down. It's like the laziness of the marketplace, this capping space where they talk about it and they're like, oh, I don't know why they're playing down there. What do you mean you don't know why they're playing down there? The Stanley Cup's been in Florida for like the last 8 years. It was only a matter of time. And now a lot of people, Winter Classic, thank you. I was on the tip of my tongue. I believe it should be in Buffalo. They should have hosted it in Buffalo. And I remember this goes back 20 years now. Have they been doing it in Buffalo for 20 years now? Or have they been doing it since Buffalo 20 years ago? Remember, it was Buffalo versus Pittsburgh at Ralph Wilson Stadium at the time. I was in Florida for a God, it had to be 20 years ago. Anyhow, the reason I know that is because I wasn't able to take time off over the holiday because of the job I had and the importance of a January 1st business starts. And then I switched gears to another company that was, you put your business in November, and by the time January rolled, it was all done, feet up on the desk. So that's why I remember that being the case. Played a morning round of golf at Innisbrook, shot a 79 on Copperhead, the course that they play the PGA on. Played it from the blues, not the tips, but the blues. And then came back and drank cocktails all day watching that Sabres game. And man, it looked cold. But anyhow, with the Stanley Cup being down in Florida, the last Tampa Bay, Florida's, Panthers, of course, Carolina's another one. I mean, they're that far away. So it doesn't surprise me. And this conversation about, I don't know why it's there. Listen, they said they can do outdoor hockey games up to, I believe, 75 degrees. They've got the ability to maintain the core temperature of the ice up to 75 degrees outdoor external temperature. Now, it's going to be pretty fucking close. So I would expect it to be slower conditions. And yeah, so listen, that's the way that cookie's going to crumble. But I'm going to take a look at this Minnesota Anaheim Ducks game. Gustafsson starts for the Minnesota Wild, and I'm buying in on this Wild team. I am not buying in on this Anaheim Ducks team at the current moment. Now, Lucas Dostal's been playing pretty solid. However, he's been on a losing streak. He's lost 5 of his last 6. And the flip side of this thing here, you got a guy coming in with 247 goals against average. Why not see Minnesota take advantage of this squad? The challenge here is it's a minus 130, and I'm cool with that price tag. But when I started looking at this thing and trying to vet out some of these players across my prop betting dashboards, one player kind of stepped up and shined. And that player, well, none other than Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes has been averaging almost 5 shots a game. And it's one of those situations where you like a team that relies on the defender to quarterback the play in the offensive zone. Then you cycle it around the outsides. It goes back to this player. He shoots it on goal, and then you try to slap it in sloppy second style out there. And that's the way I want to attack this game out there. Why not take the, say, top 5 defender in the NHL, quarterback this Minnesota Wild team that's been hot against the suspect squad, and you get the Minnesota Wild with Quinn Hughes over 2.5 shots on goal at a plus 247 price tag. Look at that thing in all its glory out there. The guy's averaging double that in terms of shots on goal on average in the association, and loving life playing with this Minnesota Wild team. So I think that's a great way to kick off our January 2nd card. The same game parlay, sort of. Sid figured out. It says 20 years ago, I just sold dope for a living and I got a life sentence. So now I have sports for the hustle. Oh, dude, hope you're not in the clink, my dude. Wild not faring well against so-called teams. don't know about that. But I like the shot. That's why I said I'm not going to go and jump in on a minus 130. I'm going to add to it. Phil the Kill says Hughes is one of the few I cash these tricky over to. Me too. Because of the style, because of the way they go. Mitch Morber's in the house. He says Wild won last 9 road games against the Ducks. And I told you, I'm fitting to start fading them Ducks. So let's go. Let's get after it. Let's see if we can't get that cash to kick this card off, you guys. Got to be clever. Want to get the most bang for our buck because, when we get to this Vancouver game, this one's a straight player. The problem is the straight player is going to lay a minus 145. And so I thought to myself, in a situation like this here, if we're going to lay a minus 145, we got to get the most bang for our buck on the other side of the equation, which happens to be that Minnesota game. By getting that 247, it affords us the opportunity to be risk reward. But the best part about the Kraken, second leg of the back-to-back, they are a fade squad out there. And Thatcher Demko's back. Kind of like Thatcher Demko being back out here. And, what are you going to do? I like this Vancouver squad. I know probably fool's gold. Some people are sitting there thinking, all right, well, they made those trades. They traded Quinn Hughes. Ironic that they go hand in hand with what we're doing right now. But look, I'm still not ready to jump ship. I don't know if Vancouver's got the ability to go long haul in this thing, but they made some changes. They got some fresh faces in the locker room. They suck at home. They're 4-12-1. So you got to ask yourself, how long can that trend continue? And it's not that we're trying to sit there and play a their due factor, but they are a win one, lose one squad. So, frankly, the tough break for them is that their last couple of games, they played that red hot Philadelphia Flyers team. And that Flyers team was in the bounce back after losing that first game after Christmas, came back after the Christmas break. Then they played at Seattle, got busted up. It was only due that they were going to go into Vancouver and beat up Vancouver because they're playing red hot right now. Not quite Buffalo Sabres red hot here, but Seattle just played Vancouver. It was a 3-2 win for Vancouver the day before that Flyers game. So that was just kind of that ultimate situation of the second leg of the back-to-back for the Flyers spot. I think we've been pretty dialed in here. This will be the first of a back-to-back spot for Vancouver. And now here's one of those teams where I try to kind of look at the outlook. They got Seattle tonight. They can beat this team. Will not surprise me to watch the Bruins smash tomorrow, Nasty Nate. Bruins smash. Why Bruins smash? Well, because, you look at this Boston Bruins team, it's a late night start. They came off that win against Edmonton. They're in the middle of a pretty long road trip, but they're about to go back home. So scheduling wise, I like them to come out there and find Boston to get the victory. Then what's going to happen though, 6 straight road games for this Vancouver Canucks team. They'll start off at Buffalo. We'll fade them there. They'll play at Detroit. That's going to be a game with a break. I might give them that Detroit spot. Then I think Toronto gets it done. And then we're going to have to start evaluating these price tags because they go through this Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa swing before finishing it off with Columbus and going back home. So kind of a breakdown as far as I was looking at this Vancouver team, some early opportunities, some early thoughts on how I think the scheduling plays out. But that's so much of what we do around here and trying to prognosticate what's going on and how this thing's going to play itself out. So that's what I'm get my cash on. Play on teams and fade teams out there. And I'm looking to get involved when it comes to play on. Now, I see Nicholas Handy saying, don't do it. Sabres lose on Tuesday versus the Canucks at home in the black and red. I'm not looking to jump ship on the Sabres at this point. I do like the auto fade teams when they get to 10 and straight, 10 straight wins, franchise tying record. Of course, that's going to be problematic, but there's a touchdown for Navy. But I won't fade the Sabres until they start losing. And then when they lose, I'll fade them again a couple of times because they'll be losing. They're going to be due for that pendulum to shift back the other direction. So I think we still play on them, boys. Yeah, I got that touchdown, Navy. Let's go. I should have played him minus that 10.5. I don't know why I pushed out. Because I was thinking about the total. I guess maybe let's just get this total. Let me go 3-0 on this game. 4-1 in our last 5 bowl game releases out there. Let's move into college hoops. I promised you guys a parlay. A parlay, I've got you in this spot. Let me pull it up with this Kennesaw. Boy, oh boy. And I know I put this out of order, so it's going to take me a second to scroll there. Shit. I thought we were rolling. Picture me rolling. Where are you? Kennesaw. Where'd you go? As I should have written on I said I was going to do rotation numbers, and I didn't do them tonight. There it is. Rotation number 851, 852. Kennesaw State opened up as an 8.5 point road dog. 77% of the bets and 78% of the cash have come in on this Kennesaw State side of things here. It's dropped the number down to sevens now in the marketplace. The total at 155.5 has ping-ponged. There's some 150. There's some stray 156 and 157s out there with 86% of the bets and 84% of the cash. My thought, that's a false flag. You got 3,000 tickets on this game, and one book just happened to take a big crack on the over. And so they arbitrarily moved it while the rest of the books said, you know what? I think that's the wrong play. And you know what? I think that's the wrong play, because as I looked at this game, I jumped into it and I found out a couple of different things here. Yeah, Liberty, getting that line movement against them as the home team. But how about this thought process here? They're coming back home after 3 straight road games. They finished off pretty well, beating an A10 team in Dayton, 64-61 as 10.5 point dogs. They can surprise you. And then they put boot to ass on Florida International. I mean, they scored 100 points in that game. So, 97, right? Kennesaw this is going to be their 3rd road game. They've played Middle 10, which we won't talk about that one, but Middle 10 to an under, by the way. Then they've got Alabama. They just got thumped by Alabama, 92-81, but they covered. So this team's covered 4 of their last 5. Kind of scares me a little bit to want to get involved in the Liberty side. So what I thought about here is I looked at some trends. I found a couple that popped off, and I tried to put a little hybrid play together with this game. And that hybrid play happens to be, where did it go? Oh, shit. Shit. I lost it. How did I fucking lose it? Let me go back to my notes. Bear with me. That's what it was. You get the home team with less rest after the road team had a win. In other words, you're selling that road team high in a unfavorable condition, which is being on the road. And I parlayed that with now that's cash 10 straight times, by the way. 63-9 is that home team with less rest cashing in on a victory from the road team. So back-to-back road games, that road team just won. So there's travel. Back-to-back with travel, roadie has cashed 10 straight times. And then the under just comes down to a situation where the previous team, the team you're playing rather's last game was on the road and went to overtime. So they kind of intersect with that back-to-back road situation. And so when I punched the two together, I got a plus 165. Best part about it, though, it's the money line. We saw that this team's 4 of their last 5 have covered on the Kennesaw State side of things. So I just peeled it back. I saw that what I believe is that false flag movement on the total going over, because the rest of the books haven't reacted to that knee-jerk move. So I like that under with that 10-5 run in its last 15. And I like Kennesaw on the money line. I like Liberty on the money line. 1-0 in Conference USA versus this Kennesaw State side of things here. But I think we can go out there and capitalize and get this cash. And it's going to be a plus 165-er, $1.65. Let's go. What do you guys have to say? What up? Check it in here. Let's see what the chat's got to say. What up, Line Time? Just love SMU tonight. Nasty Nate shouting out Line Time. Philly Eagle Flyer, the best name in the business, says Rags, no good. Florida Panthers, plus 102. Phil the Kill says, let's go Navy minus 14.5, plus 185, alive and kicking. Jay Davis says, Wine Time, but of course you do, because I like Arizona. Phil the Kill says, with you, Wine Time on SMU. And congrats on the little one incoming or already here. Shout out to Wine Time. Baby on board, my friend. Congrats to you, brother. Gary Davis says, I got Kennesaw plus 9. I like it. I like the under. You can cash too. We can all cash here. If we can get this Liberty on the money line, cash that intersecting parlay with back-to-back road spots for this Kennesaw State team. It just makes sense. Travel, holidays, probably missing being home a little bit. But covering spreads, and that's definitely a concern for a team like Liberty. Siena and Iona are going to be a college basketball spot that I'm hopping in on. Rotation order 849, 850. 68% of the bets, 74% of the cash on Iona. really hasn't moved. Home team Iona against the Siena squad. 146.5 have moved to 149.5 out there. 54% of the bets, 55% of the cash are on the under. So pretty dramatic move to the over. 4 points, considering it's just a smidge over 50-50. That's kind of how I initially looked at this game. And look, Iona's just 1-2 in their last 3. Cincinnati's trying to do their part to go down there and get me to my total. What do we need? 28. We need 30 more points. Although second half is just starting. But I'll take my Navy minus 7.5. Just get me covered by the hook, boys. Anyhow, Siena comes in here, and they're off of back-to-back losses. This will be their 3rd straight road game. They haven't played a game since the Christmas break. So that's kind of important to notate here because you've got this Iona team that was on the road. They played Mount St. Mary's. They got beat up as as road favorites. That was the first game after the Christmas break. Very tough for these kids who just went through finals. Then they get a couple of days off for the holidays. Maybe if they're fortunate and their parents have money, they get to fly home for a couple of days. Probably they don't. And so they're just kind of sitting around in the gym, working out, hanging out with the fellas, and, rest turns to rust. And Siena is kind of where I expect this case to be. This is a team that kind of oscillates around the 63-point mark on the season. They got a 60 against Indiana. Vermont, they put up 69. All right. I mean, it's Vermont. And then Canisius. Fucking Canisius just took down Fairfield today. That sucked. Navy just turned the ball over. Navy just turned the ball over, it looks like. 74-52 on that Canisius game. All right. I mean, what are you going to do? 83 against Niagara. So the MAAC definitely scares me. But you know what doesn't scare me is when you look at this Iona squad out there, why not? Why not take a shot at this under from a total perspective? And I fucked this one up. I see what I did. I see how I fucked my notes up. Sorry. It's my fault. It's all on me. But MAAC teams in those head-to-head battles have been finding themselves going under the total. In fact, poor defenses at home in this situation tend to go under as well. So we've got a couple of intersecting under trends when it just comes down to the MAAC and a bad defense, but being at home. So you got Iona at home. They've already played. Expect them to ratchet it up and show why the MAAC defenses go under. And Siena's coming in here rusty and rested as a motherfucker, looking fat and happy after Christmas. Maybe they got their PlayStation 5s. Maybe they got, I don't know what they would have gotten out there. Maybe they got a fresh pair of fucking sneaks. I don't know, but I don't care because I'm looking at the under here. Yeah, Siena comes in 2-0 in the MAAC. I heard they're going to try to change the name in the MAAC, but I did jump in on the under 149.5 in this MAAC battle. Yeah, Iona and Siena. So let's move on to this next game. Let's keep her moving. I got some dinner to get to here, you guys. I got to make some dinner. Hungry too. Hungry. Bobby Moe. Detroit Mercy. Bo Jackson likes the Wizards on the money line. I like the Wizards on the money line too, but I didn't like them now that they're a favorite. That's what kind of got me because, we've cashed plenty on this Wizards last 5-6 games. Like everyone's like, oh, they won 3 in a row. Yeah, but we've been cashing with them for the last 2 weeks, whether we fade them or cash on them. Jerry Davis says he likes the Siena and Iona. Iona needs this game. Absolutely. Nasty Nate's on Iona. Mikey dragging us through his horizon. Hey, listen, I got a premium play out there over on Winnable for you guys if you want to talk about that SMU game, but I got some action for you guys here. I got plenty of action. We're not just going to cash in these bowl games. Man, what a fucking terrific bowl season. I think, man, I got to go back and look at the number, but we might be like 35-9 or something like that. I mean, it's just been incredible. I'll have to go back and look. We just finished the month of December, up almost 50 units, winning across all 4 North American sports. And then if you aggregate the other sports, we won over there too. That's the UFC, the KBL, the NBL, the CBA, what else are we betting on? Soccer, EPL, Spanish Liga, it doesn't matter. We've been cashing, boys. So it doesn't matter what the ball looks like. We just want to get paid. Now I'm going to take a shot with this Horizon League, and I'm going to go back to Bobby Moe. You'll remember Bobby Moe shut us down the other day, and it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings so much that I live bet this son of a bitch too, because we kind of had that intersecting trend on the other side where the team was against the threes and they don't perform. Well, they did. They were what? They were twos, I think. 1.5s or twos in that game. And they were able to come out there and get the win for us. So, or not for us, against us, rather. So, little tricky to want to go back and get these guys. But guess what? I think the public saw that Robert Morris loss. And if you want, 2,870 tickets, not a ton of tickets, right? So it's another one of them kind of dipping into the pig's trough, if you will, here. But this 2.5 has finally moved to 3.5. Just 30 minutes ago. 62% of the bets and 59% of the cash are on the Detroit Mercy side of things here. And the total's gone from 147.5 to 148.5. Oh, Navy. Damn. They're blowing the top off these guys for a team that wants to be run oriented. They got a penalty. I feel like I'm in the middle of a live stream. Oh, I am. That's right. I forgot. So anyhow, Detroit comes into this game. They did play one game off the holiday, 73-68 against them pesky little Penguins. That penalty was on Cincinnati. Free play down the field. And it looks like he's hurt. Bobby Moe, that North Kentucky game. That was the game I'm talking about. 1.5 point dogs. North Kentucky was an 0 for 19, I think. No, it wasn't 0 for 19. I don't remember. They were 0 for something. And that was when they were between the threes. So both teams haven't coming off a situation out there. Jared Larry going to be out for the Detroit Mercy side of things. A clean bill of health for Bobby Moe. And I got to go with Bobby Moe because, we got a big spot for him here. 19-0 when they're between the eights. Here's this one. As long as it's not going to be a total blowout one side or the other. They're a perfect 19-0 when they're playing a team that averages less than 63 field goal attempts. They're covering by 7.5 points a game in those spots. So keep that in mind. Team not shooting very much. Okay? Because Detroit Mercy finds themselves 0-10 when the total's over 134, and they're playing a team that averages more than 32.5% shooting. Who came off a loss by a single possession? That's that game against Northern Kentucky. So when Bobby Moe's playing a team that shoots not very often, they shoot the lights out but lose by a possession. Detroit Mercy comes 0-10. We're intersecting. That number, that margin is 16 points. It was enough for me to say, okay, I'll take a shot because the last one we have is Bobby Moe, 14-0 when they're on a short rest situation, a total under 152.5, and they got more than 13 turnovers the previous game. They should have won that fucking game, but this game shows that they'll win this thing. That number shows an average of about 10.5 points. So I'm going back to Robert Morris here and college hoops because why not? Why not? JP says, I almost bet Robert Morris. I didn't forget it. I said $1.65, didn't I? I didn't forget my own joke. I was listening to a Howard Stern recording of Adam Sandler, and they were talking about how he used to make phony phone calls, and it reminded me of Adam Sandler. I'm coming out of the booth. Michigan State, Nebraska. Had to cover this game. I thought this one had some fun potential written on it anyways. Because we've got two Big Ten teams coming in here and both kind of the class of the Big Ten right now. Early in the season, I know, but they're both coming in undefeated. Michigan State comes in here 12-1, Nebraska 13-0. Normally I tend to fade these games as a general principle, but I really like a side in this game. And I told you guys I got a big trend out there. It's 24-2 and 21-1. First and foremost, when you get Izzo, opponents off a win, as long as it's not like a tournament, right, where they've got just 1 day's rest. With a little bit of rest under their belt there, they're 21-1 to the under. To the under is Izzo. He can go out there and coach his ass off if you're selling high on the other team. And Michigan State, when they have rest against an opponent off a win in general, are 24-9. So, when you subtract kind of all of the peripherals that go into a team that's been winning and on fire like this Nebraska team, I think Michigan State's got a real live shot here. I know it's 2.5, so it's not like they're a live dog, wrong team favored. They are. But I opted to go to the under in this game. I said, you know what? Give me this Izzo factor. Let me see him queue up some defense in a Big Ten battle here, where again we've got both teams class of the conference. Should see some defense, not some explosion on offense. I don't want to be in a position where I need to get Michigan State getting points. I thought this just felt good. JW says, it's weird seeing Nebraska good at basketball. Kelly V says, Happy New Year. Bam, over 5.5 for the Rangers Florida Winter Classic. 21-1 to the over. I saw that trend today. And then she says 19-1 for the Ducks. Jay Peasy says, I got it under 6.5. I guess we could both cash. I see a low-scoring, crappy game on crappy ice. All right, last game. Well, not last game. We're going to move over to the NBA. I got 3 games in the NBA. I'll hit you guys with some college football, and we'll shut this thing down so I can go get my dinner rolling here. 21-7 right now, huh? What happened? Did I see that turnover the other way? Look at these assholes without any shirts on. Put your fucking shirt on, dude. Man. All right. I kind of made peace with the fact that the total wasn't going to get there for me. I just need the 7.5. I'll go 2-1. I'll take a 2-1 in this fucking bowl game. Give me 3-1 on the day. We had a 3-1 yesterday. I got 2 plays lined up for this evening. San Antonio Spurs, the Indiana Pacers, kicking off here. I don't know. How can you get excited about this Indiana Pacers team? What's remarkable about the Indiana Pacers is they were like, 1 win away from the national or the basketball championship last year. And they suck this year. And we know the Spurs are going to make it to the finals and probably end up winning the damn thing. So we already got the Spurs penciled in for the West. Who's going to get there from the East? I don't know yet. Kind of want to say, I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm not going to commit to the East. I got the Spurs locked in on the West. This line opened at 5. And why do I say that? Go back and look at the history. The teams that have lost the NBA Cup, I know it's a short sample, but go back and look and see what they've done. And so you got -5.5, so moved to -5, 63% of the bets, 62% of the cash on the San Antonio Spurs. This total went from 241.5 down to 238.5 with 78% of the bets and 80% of the cash on the over. Spurs coming in, kicking ass, taking names, dealing with some Wembyana issues. Again, we're able to, what a tough situation now with some of these players with these injuries going on. But at the end of the day, Halliburton out, Toppin out, Ish Jackson out. Pacers are just rolling over, taking a beating, right? Is that a turnover? Turnover for Navy now? What do we got? A fucking turnover battle? We got a penalty. We got a flag. Can't do that. Navy looks like you can do that, though. Kind of phoned in their helmet game on this one, I think, for Navy. I always get excited about the Army-Navy game just so I can see what kind of helmets they're going to rock with. What do we got? Hopefully it's short field. That's what we got. I guess that's okay. I guess that's an okay helmet. Penalty on Navy. Fuck sticks. All right. Anyways. All right, listen, let me just keep this thing rolling. I'm hungry. You guys want the plays. Let's get paid. Let's get this same game parlay going. This is the one I told you guys about here. I got the Spurs. I'm going to take that -5.5. I took the over 238.5. I'll get to these in a second. I got Huff under 3.5 rebounds, and I got Keldon Johnson over 19.5 points and rebounds. This line opened up with Huff at 4.5 rebounds. It dropped because of considerable cash coming in. So it's a little bit of a steam move out there. Keldon Johnson should be the straw that stirs the drink over 19.5 PNR. That came down from 21.5. So a little bit of a teaser on that side of things here. But I went to the Spurs and I went to the over. 2 reasons. One, you fade teams on a 6 or more game losing streak. When they're checked out, they are checked all the fucking way out. They're 119-73 in that fade spot out there. So I like the Spurs. I think it's a moderate number. I know I saw a trend earlier that said if it was a 6, it was a sweep spot, but it's now 5s, 5.5s. I'm okay with the 5.5. I'm okay with 6. It doesn't matter to me what you get in that case out there because the Pacers pretty much toast. And I'm not really putting my neck on the chopping block by saying that, right? We see that. But ultimately, I put Huff in here. And the reason I threw Huff into this one is because this dude's been dealing with an injury, and we're starting to see it impact the minutes that he's played. So the reason I went to his under rebounds, I told you, it was 4.5. It slid down to 3.5. Why? Because he's gone under 4.5 rebounds in 4 straight. If they do get blown out, they're going to shut his minutes right down. And his minutes have gone down from 21 to 19. He played 11 minutes the last time they played Indiana. So he's only played 21 minutes or more once in the past 4 games out there. I suspect they shut him down. They ratchet his, what's in a vice. And I'll take Keldon Johnson to get the points on the other side of things here. I think that's a great little 4-game parlay. We'll take this Pacers team. We'll fade that squad. We'll fade this Pacers team with a 6-game losing streak trend in our back pocket. I'll put it on the screen again one more time. Spurs -5.5 over 238.5. Huff under 3.5. And the reason I went same game parlay, you guys, I've talked about this time and again. When we get these spots where the books are going to offer us a boost, mine was 30%. So I was able to tease some. I debated, do I go for the full whack, the full 2 points or the full extra rebound, or do I just kind of bring them back? I thought, you know what? It's a half a unit play for me. But a half a unit, get around 11-1. I like the Spurs. I gave out my free play on Instagram was the Huff under 3.5 rebounds earlier today because I like that spot a lot. Then I slapped in some points in Keldon Johnson to get myself equation to that end number out there. Let's go on. We got 2 more NBA games, and I'm just going to keep it short and sweet for you guys. I don't care. I'm taking the Nuggets. I think this is just an over fucking reaction, period. Denver, as far as Denver's concerned, yeah, they're banged up and everybody knows it. It's already factored into the line. You've heard me talk about that time and again. We don't need to see a joke explained. We don't need to see. What we know, though, is because of the depth that the Nuggets have, they're able to bring in some older players with experience. And those older players, by the way, have been forming. I mean, if you listen to the Nuggets coaches after the games last against, was it Toronto? They commented and said, we're okay with who we've got. We're not in a panic mode. Jamal Murray might be the only healthy guy on the squad, but they didn't care because they got Tim Hardaway, Bruce Brown, Peyton Watson went out there and led the team in points. A leader on the field. I think it's a great opportunity for us to take all of these points. The second squad playing quite a bit because of the injuries that this Nuggets team have faced. And if you think about why, when you get teams that run deep in the playoffs year and year again, we've talked about it, not to be that broken record, but when they go over and again in the playoffs, the tread comes off the tires. And so load management means that some of these guys got plenty of time on the court to try to resurrect their career. So 14 points are too many for me. I'm going to take that spot out there. Jerry Davis says I can only get 4.5. I prefer the 4.5, dude. Under, though. It's the under, right? Make sure you're taking the under in that spot out there. Shout out to everybody checking in. Look at all you guys popping in here. If you guys are checking us out on X for the first time, or you've been here a couple of times, migrate on over to the YouTube side of things. Lots of content going on a regular basis. My man Ramon Scott goes 7 days a week, 9 a.m. for the morning steam, giving you the first look out of Las Vegas to see what's beating them books. Then we roll on here at 6 p.m. for Pregaming, just like you see here, Monday through Friday. We roll Saturdays, we roll Sundays. We do all kinds of content for you guys, trying to give you guys winning sports bets, companion viewing shows. Redbeard's got Mississippi -2.5, and Arizona money line for him. Kelly V says should be over and rebounds for Indy's Siakam. Because says, Mikey, forsaken food for these lives. At least hit the like. Action Jackson, Arizona or SMU. Damon Wang says Pacers money line. Damon Wang says Pacers first half money line. Action Jackson, Tail and Redbeard. Kelly V says that's over points and rebounds for Siakam. Okay. Appreciate you chiming in. Damon Wang says Siakam double-double. You could have me at Siakam double-double. Stop Geo says, I see Jamal Murray on the injury report day to day. Fucking guy. That's exactly why I like him. And I'll tell you what, I might be crazy. Probably am. But I'm going Golden State. Pretty much for the same fucking reason. They've been banged up all year. This is getting too much. Now, I'll tell you this. The Sharp Perspective betting report came in on the Golden State Warriors at +8. They got him again at +9. They took him again. And now it's up to 14. But it's up to 14 because of these continual injuries coming out there. This feels like, I said this to Shark when he commented earlier today, is this just a disrespectful move for basketball that these guys keep coming out? I said, watch Golden State win the game outright. Crazy as that sounds, but big road favorites. Same conference, non-division. They're losing. They're losing in those spots. If you fade them, boys, you're 9-1 in your last 10. You've won 9 straight times with too many points because of teams like the Washington Wizards giving us that cash. The home dog against a favorite. Rest advantage in the division, 7-2. I'm sorry, in the conference, 7-2 have won 5 straight games as well. I'm going to take this Golden State Warriors team. I'm going to take the 14. I like the 14 on the one side. I like the 14 on the other side. I think, again, overreaction. And the fact that the Sharps were betting it at 8, you don't think they already knew Steph is out? I mean, fuck. Everybody's out. I'm playing that game later tonight. Watch for me out there. I can't shoot a 3-ball for shit, but I'd go out there and suit up for league minimum. Put me in. My ACL's already fucked up. You don't have to worry about that getting torn. You don't have to worry. Maybe my Achilles, that probably has a little bit of challenge for rupture on it. FB Gotti says, this game scares me. I think we embrace it. You know, it's like I was started off the show talking about Kirby Smart going for it on 4th down in his own territory. And it's like, man, he has balls. No, he's just been in that situation a lot. So the nerves aren't there any longer. And for me, I've been in that situation a lot. We see these teams end up winning the damn game outright. Let's move on to the last game on the card. Wake Forest, Mississippi State. Last game that we've got in front of us here for this evening's card. You guys, appreciate everybody that did tune in to watch. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on if you have not done so already, because we will be dropping plays. We will be dropping videos. We'll be dropping content across this new year that you do not want to miss. And I appreciate it if you guys take the time to hit that like button for us. Wake Forest opened at 2.5. Not a lot of movement. 43% of the bets, but 57% of the cash came in on this Wake Forest side of things. Some sharp respected betting came in on this Wake Forest side of things as well. And a couple things you got to know about this one. They're playing this at Bank of America Stadium. Perfect conditions. Going to be a little chilly, but perfect conditions. Mississippi State. Now, sometimes I like the angle of the team that shouldn't be here getting here, because a 5-7 team, the teams that were in front of them had to opt out. And because they opted out, they're in a position where they can go out there and get themselves in here. So they look to be full strength, Mississippi State. But I think Wake Forest defense is too much for these guys here. You know, I talk about where this game's located because there should be plenty of Wake Forest fans showing up to this thing. It's pretty much in their backyard, so to speak. And that defensive oriented, shut them down. We run the ball, we ground and pound, and tick, 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 tick that clock away. To me, says Wake Forest is a live dog in this game out there. I think, you know, coach is trying to get his first career bowl win. So he's coming into play against a team that in the SEC, whom we've seen not play well in these types of games. The SEC in the postseason has played like shit. And we saw that last night, not just with the Alabama game, but we saw that with the Ole Miss game as well. Georgia, remember I said they're giving Georgia all those points, thinking they're the favorite, and those teams have not fared well. So to give Mississippi State this opening line is damn right disrespectful. 3 points, 2.5 points. Again, wrong team in this spot. And furthermore, the home dog in unranked spots have played well. Now, I know you're going to say it's a bowl game, so the home dog, but this is the situation. Unranked matchups, the home dog is 51-24. Okay. The fact that this game is pretty much in Wake Forest backyard, to me, means that stat comes alive. It's not just the team that was made the home team, so to speak here, right? Unranked versus unranked in a tight game, tight total. Not expecting this thing to be a blowout on one side or the other. The unranked team in the dog role have won 12 straight times. So it's not your imagination that these dogs are coming out there barking. And I think Wake Forest goes out there and barks these fucking dogs right in the butt tonight. Wake Forest, give me them boys to close the show. 7:02 on the button. Thank you guys all for checking us out. Make sure you do get this Wake Forest spot plus 2.5 with me. And look, we're going to go live tomorrow. I told you guys, shout out to our guy, Mr. Weskers. Shout out to Nicholas Handy. For that reason, you guys, for them, gentlemen, you can thank them for getting us to sign on officially for a live show tomorrow. So look for that to come out there. Probably be the later game. Give you guys some time Saturday to do your things, get your shit done. And then we'll just firebomb the evening slate between the NBA, the NHL, college basketball, that NFL spot, player props, sides, totals, the whole thing. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you for Phil the Kill, Jerry Davis, Sancho in the house. He's on Wake on both team total over and full game over. Says Nick's going to smash the Bucks, smash FB Gotti, Jerry Davis, Stop Geoengineering, Mr. Whiskers. Appreciate you, Kelly. The Action Jackson. Thank you guys all for being here, doing what we do. Redbeard. Jake Peasy from LA to the Bay, my guy all day. JW, Dana Delp, Happy New Year to all you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll be back here again. We'll go live tomorrow. We're going to do it. We're going to go. I'll see if I can't get MMA Jeff on board for this thing. And a thank you to you guys for supporting the community. Asking, and you shall receive. Have yourselves a great night. I'll be back here tomorrow live with you.